Cool colleagues, hi everyone. I'm very happy to see you all here. Actually, I was expecting that there would only be a couple of people here, of whom, or two or three people, of whom a couple would be my most loyal fans, mother and father, mom and dad. Hi, they're watching me online. Today I'll talk about a product, a service, a user service. When they came to us with an idea of taking a stage, I thought, why me? Because I am a product owner, so where am I in the way of cybersecurity? But my colleagues from the cybersecurity department always take part in conferences like this. They always work with positive technologies and always bring back such great merchandise that I thought, why don't I go there and get some merch myself? Well, actually, it was a joke. We actually built some really cool service, and I'm sure it brings value to the lives of rank-and-file citizens. It's about time to introduce myself. My name is Anastasia Shvetsova. I'm head of development at Muscovites project. Muscovites project is part of the transport department of the city of Moscow. We are its intellectual center, intellectual hub, and all decisions as to how transport is going to develop in the city, where it's going to go, where the metro will reach in 2030, goes through our institute one way or the other. We have 500 people working, including designers, analysts, engineers, and other cool people who are working every day on ensuring that city transport in Moscow should be good and useful for everyone. Let's imagine if you had, let's say, an X million rubles and you were selecting an apartment in a newly built development, what would you pay your attention at? Well, perhaps on the cost of a square meter in the first place, and the cost of the whole apartment. According to our research, according to the research of our partners, the number one factor that determines the choice of an apartment is, surprise, transport accessibility. But what is transport accessibility? Developers think that it's like 10 minutes of walking to the next metro station. We at the transport department do not quite agree with that, because it's not really about 20 minutes of walking to the metro station, according to the Yandex Maps. It's actually about broader everyday, day-to-day experience set. What kind of metro is there? Are there other social sites, socially important sites available, schools or outpatient facilities? What else the developer has envisaged in the complex? So we at Muscovites project, on behalf of the Transport Department of Moscow, developed a transport accessibility index. So what it's all about? It's a methodology of assessment that's based on 36 different parameters: public transit, then private car, distance from socially important sites, and so on and so forth. And also it includes an assessment of the infrastructure from the real estate developer. We wrapped it all up as a city service on the portal. You can go there, you can click items there, take a look at the catalog, and we also have an industry API for our partners. So what do we have under the hood? As I said, the core and the heart of it is a methodology. The methodology as such was also born within our Muscovites project. It includes 36 assessment parameters. We have two rankings: geographic accessibility and the community infrastructure infrastructure. Geographic accessibility shows how easy and fast it will be for you to use public transit in Moscow. And the second is what the developer has envisaged in the facility. Whether there are parkings, whether there are convenient pathways to the mass transit stops. Why do we have two of these? Because the developer cannot affect the geographic accessibility index, whereas the community infrastructure is something that's under direct purview of the real estate developer. So we have two rankings, and the maximum rating number is 10. So we need a lot of data. Mikhail Kotanov from the Innovation Center, Safe Transport of Moscow, spoke here. They also collect quite a lot of data, and we also use the data hub. But not only this, not only it, we have almost all data about the traffic in Moscow, and it's not only GIS data about sites or transport infrastructure. This includes some analytics, data about passenger traffic and so on and so on. And it's quite natural that we collect a lot of data on construction. We are connected to several systems of the construction complex of the government of Moscow. We are also connected to our partners. And we aggregate it all, formalize much, and as a result, we get these two integral indicators. So that are approved by professionals and analysts. We call this a hybrid calculation because every construction site, every community development project has specific features. It can't be formalized through unified rules. So every calculation has to be approved by our analysts, because we will be held responsible if we're wrong. So if the methodology is the heart, is the core of the project, then around this core, we have built an interface. It's a website with a mobile version, with a catalog of development projects that you can look up, applying different filters to select the residential community that you're interested in. On the page of each residential community, you have two rating numbers, and you can also see a map that shows you the components that contribute to these ratings. So the transport accessibility, including the plans up until 2032, we have this data. Also, you can see whether parking is available or where a school is being planned to be built so that your kid could go there, could walk there. We also have quite a lot of additional features, user features. For instance, the personal selection, where you just use your own life scenario to pick the residential community that fits you best. For instance, it's important for you that schools, a park, and the pharmacy should be within walking distance, and we'll offer you the record that fits you best. Of course, our service can't exist without a good and powerful mapping partner. In our case, this is a 2GIS. It's mapping platform and a router. These guys have a very good industry strength API that won over all the competitors at the start of our project and meets all the requirements for the visualization that our product offers. And we also use our own partner API so that we could pass the data to our major partners. At the very start of the project, we had a perfect understanding that going about just one website is not a goal in itself. One needs to reach those sites and venues where people go when looking for an apartment. These are, of course, real estate classifieds, and our first partner. And Cian became the first partner that we enrolled. They were the first ones to believe in us. It's with them that we released our website and ratings. Thank you, dear designers, for adding these red frames here, because the UI is very busy and it is difficult. So we send our transport accessibility index to these guys, and it has become sort of a quality mark. Also, we pass them not only the numbers of this rating, but also some additional parameters that we have. So we are not a commercial service, we're not greedy, so therefore whatever we have, we try to share with our partners. So that they should have something to show the users, so that the dweller of the city should be able to get the most unbiased assessment. We do the same with Avito, and in addition to that, we pass these guys with an absolute values regarding the traveling or accessibility of this site to the next transport venues. Also, we're planning to become available at dom.rf in a couple of weeks. We'll be there. All right, so why do we need that? The service is not commercial. We don't do commercial money. We don't work with the developers. So basically what we do is an unbiased assessment of transport accessibility. And it does offer dwellers an assessment like this. What the city gets here, it's motivated real estate developers, so that the developer should fight for these numbers. And we offer another site for developers to show off their advantages. Can it be scaled? Yes, you can, but you need to ask, does the city really need that? Because your own methodology of assessment is required. There are a lot of Moscow fine-tuning that needs to be done, and also not everybody is ready to provide all this data. A few words about who we are and what we do. We at Mos Project, actually, it's the IT department that's responsible for it. We close business in our institute. We have about 50 people, half of which are developers. We have a full cycle in-house development team, starting from designers and analysts all the way to systems analysts and developers and other cool guys.
Часть правительства Москвы, естественно, пользуемся либо российским ПО, либо open-source решениями. И стек у нас, в принципе, там не самый широкий, но достаточно большой, наверное, для небольшой команды. скрипты мы пишем на PHP, на
Well, the scripts we're writing on the Python, the back is also on PHP and JavaScript frameworks, different frameworks. As for the Postgres, we've been using this for working with data. Many processes are on the firewall, and also we do visualization in SuperSite. I mean the data visualization. Also, these are the great team that we have that you see on the picture. And I have to say that we call ourselves, turquoise, sort of like organization. Maybe you've heard about the spiral dynamic of teams developing these turquoise organizations, like on the top, and sort of this is how we refer to ourselves. Why? Because we have this special environment and atmosphere. We've been using all these agile practices and tools which are a common thing for IT companies, and like planning, sprints and backlogs and you name it. And of course all of these adjusted to us being sort of like a governmental organization. And one of the secret sauce, so to speak, why we are able to work the way we do is that we have this like a principle, like a zero tolerance to just pure bureaucracy and red tape. How do we do that? Setting priorities, setting right goals, and constantly asking ourselves why we do what we do. There was a joke, like a parent was taught to ask, why do this, and he became a product manager. So it's supposed to be a joke. And what else can we do? We can do different non-public services for our analysts and designers of this transportation institute. Basically, these are the tools which are helping our designers to do the subway map until 2030, different cartographic services like layers of data for different objects of the transportation cluster for making managerial decisions. Like I said before, we collect, not only we model data and visualize data, but all of this in a superset, like you can see, related to metro or subway passengers. And we did not disclose some of the numbers due to NDAs. Next, I want to go back to one of the final slides. It's a bunch of QR codes on my slide, but
Какая анимация красивая.
look at this animation, and you can get more information about the Trans project on our website. And we write lots of articles on Harvard.ru. You can read, you can see how we work with data and the cartography and all the things, and how we connect all the services. We have a Telegram channel. If you'll be interested, you can join in. And also there was something about the residential complex. You can come and you can find out your particular home or house in the city, and you can evaluate. And if you have any questions or complaints, you can also write. These are my contacts in Telegram, and please evaluate my presentation. And with this, I'm done. Yeah, dear colleagues, thank you for the presentation. Any questions, if you have any, please? Yes, go ahead. Microphone is on the way, and now you know for sure about this service. Yeah, hello. My main question is, yes, we live in the best city on earth, goes without saying, but are you planning to scale up your wonderful solutions to other cities, other towns, in terms of like sharing the experience or something like that? And actually, this is the most popular question, indeed, the one that I get very often whenever I share about this service. And like I said before, it is quite possible to transfer or share this data, but you need a special methodology for in any cities. In Moscow, it's already radial, circle structure. St. Petersburg, for example, has a totally different structure because other towns may not have any subway at all. And yes, it's about, applying this data, passenger traffic and influence. Like how would you apply to a local region or a local city? But like very recently we got an approval from our senior management in terms of us moving out to the Moscow region, larger Moscow, metro area, because now we're going to take the 20 kilometers from the Moscow Circle Road radius, because we want to see not only to make a statement, hey, transportation department is came up with a certain rating. We want to do some objective and good evaluation for people, because we know that people are choosing the place to live, and the larger Moscow region is also going to be affected. We are going to pay some attention to that. Any other questions, please? As a reminder, if you have a great question, we've prepared a book as a bonus we want to give to you. And now the book is The Modern Approach to Program Architecture. Yeah, actually, it's very much on the topic of my presentation. No questions, and then the book goes to the only person who asked the question. I think it was a great question. Thanks a lot. Stay in touch.